Welcome to the battlefield of brains, where strategy meets chaos and every move burns with intensity. Watch grandmasters clash, pieces fall, and legends rise. Tomi opens with d4, the first spear into the battlefield, staking claim to the center like a bold general raising his flag. Wesley replies with d5, calm and composed, establishing his own fortress and saying, "Not today, my friend." P. White pushes c4, an immediate jab on the flank, testing the enemy's structure and nerve. Black answers with chicks, a solid wall of steel. The Caro-Kann-style barricade rising strong and patient. Tomi develops the knight to f3, a loyal soldier stepping forward to defend his central ambitions. Wesley mirrors with nf6, the calm before the storm. Knight meeting knight, in a silent stare-down. White plays e3, securing the pawn chain like locking armor plates before the clash. Black sneaks in a6, a subtle but deadly move, sharpening his blade for the queenside advance. Tomi brings in nc3, reinforcing the front line. The cavalry joining the fray. Wesley pushes b5, and boom! The queenside attack ignites. The battlefield starts to burn. White answers with c5, a bold lock, freezing the tension and trapping the flames in a cage of pawns. Black goes g6. Wesley begins a shadowy kingside operation, preparing his bishop like a sniper on a hill. Tomi develops bd3. The bishop's eyes now pierce the heart of enemy territory. Ready to strike. Wesley fianchettos with bj7, long-range artillery locked and loaded. Scanning the diagonals. White castles kingside, safety first. The king tucks behind his wall of shields. Wesley mirrors with 00, both kings now secure. The true war can finally begin. Tomi plays qc2. The queen glides into view. Regal and calculating. Surveying the field. Wesley develops nbd7, gathering reinforcements, pairing The dark army fully mobilized. White pushes e4, the ground shakes. Tomi strikes at the center with fiery ambition. Wesley accepts the challenge with dc4, slicing open the heart of the board with surgical precision. White recaptures with bx4, the bishop lunges forward, reclaiming lost ground and daring retaliation. Wesley trades with nc4, the duel intensifies, knights clash. Sparks fly. White strikes back with qc4, queen reclaims the initiative. Her blade gleaming under pressure. Black calmly develops nf6, Wesley retreats and rebuilds. Ever patient. Ever cold-blooded. Tomi swings the queen to h4. The royal assassin aims straight at the king's domain. Thirsting for blood. Puny. Wesley blocks with re8, a quiet but powerful move. Interposing defense with the poise of a Grandmaster warrior. White pushes f5. Tomi tries to open another front. chaos brewing everywhere. Wesley counters, with bh6, deploying his bishop to challenge White's light-squared power. Tomi responds bh6, the queenside bishop joins the attack, like a general leading his elite squad. Wesley mirrors with bite, a strategic retreat, hiding the sniper deep in the forest. White plays Nefiv, a knight jump into enemy soil. Bold and reckless, like a dare to destiny. Wesley replies with qc7, reinforcing the center and keeping a cold eye on every weakness. Tomi slides kafur, the queen keeps dancing forward, seeking cracks in the black fortress. Wesley develops bf5, meeting the queen head-on, refusing to flinch. White keeps the queen active with qf3. She steps back but remains deadly, coiling for the next strike. Black places race site. Wesley doubles down on control, bringing heavy artillery into line. White mirrors, with Raccoon. Tanks roll out, preparing for a full-scale confrontation on the c-file. Wesley fortifies with red 8. Every piece of the Dark Army now ready for war. Tomi jumps net 2. The knight repositions, seeking a more dangerous path. Wesley pushes a 4. The dark pawns march like an unstoppable tide. White responds with a3. Tomi braces for impact, holding the wall. Black develops bg7. The bishop returns to duty, eyeing long diagonals once more. White exchanges with bxx7. The light-squared bishop gives his life for a tactical purpose. Black recaptures kxx7. The king himself steps up, taking command of the field. Tomi advances h3, perhaps a quiet move, but it's the kind that whispers of hidden plans. Wesley lines up qb7, eyes now locked on the queen's side, aiming for that long-term squeeze. White places rc down. Tomi's rooks are aligned, an orchestra of steel ready to play. Black plays before. The dark bishop plants himself like a thorn in White's structure. White replies, qa3, offering trades with elegance and danger. Wesley keeps his bishop alive with bc2. The bishop dodges, staying on the attack. Tomi develops d2, doubling down on control, setting traps along the ranks. Wesley pushes bb3, slowly suffocating White's defenses. Pawn structure, trembling. Trembling. White jumps n4, trying to spark some counterplay. His knight now roaring in the center. Wesley responds b4, a thunderous shove, cracking open the queenside walls. Tomi sacrifices space with net 3, knights swirling like dancers in a storm. Black pushes bx3. Wesley opens the lines with ruthless precision. White captures back with bx3. Tomi keeps the structure barely intact, his defenses shaking. Wesley calmly plays rd7, bringing reserves to the front, tightening the noose. White moves n5, still fighting, still dreaming of a comeback. Wesley answers rd8, doubling the rooks, a symbol of total control. Tomi pushes h4, desperate flames on the king's side. A final rally before the real storm hits. Wesley replies with nd5. The knight leaps into the fray, slicing straight through white's fragile lines like a silent assassin. Tomi swings nh5, a daring check. A cry of defiance from the edge of defeat. Wesley steps gate, calm under fire. He sidesteps like a veteran, dodging a sniper's bullet. White pushes qh6. The queen rushes in for the kill, her sword gleaming in the smoke. Wesley defends with gx5, cold-blooded. The black pawn tears down the white queen's dream with ruthless precision. Tomi shifts rd3, reorganizing, clinging to hope, trying to rebuild an army from ashes. Wesley counters with bc2. The bishop returns to dominate, slicing diagonals like a laser beam. White brings qg5, one more check. Desperate, but daring. Wesley replies quite. The king walks into the fire, unshaken, leading from the front. Tomi snatches qs5. The queen refuses to quit, claiming another pawn in her quest for vengeance. Wesley pushes e6, calm and terrifying, building a wall that hides many deadly traps. White rallies rf3. The rook joins the queen for one last heist attempt. Wesley responds f6. The fortress tightens. No mercy. No weakness. Tomi fires rd3, a cannon loaded and ready to explode on the king's side. Wesley coolly plays rc7, moving his forces closer, preparing for the final siege. White checks with qh6, still searching for that miracle breakthrough. Wesley meets it with rg7, solid, mechanical, as if saying, I've seen this movie before. Tomi sacrifices with nh6, boom. A white knight detonates inside enemy lines. Chaos erupts. Wesley calmly replies, re8, not impressed. Just tightening the net around the intruder. White leaps nd4. Another knight joins the chaos. Banners, fluttering in defiance, pinned. Wesley captures with bb3, snapping the knight's path. Precise and pitiless. White answers with nsd5, one last punch from the fading army, refusing to fade quietly. Wesley recaptures bxe5. The dark bishop swings his blade, cutting down the rebellion. Tomi pushes re3, bringing rooks together, desperate to hold the crumbling kingdom. Wesley plays 5. The black pawns now storm forward like a rolling tank division. White pushes h5. Small fire on the flank, trying to distract the enemy commander. Wesley responds re7, doubling the guns, aiming everything straight at the white king. Tomi checks with qf6, striking one more time before the walls close in. Wesley calmly plays key8. His king steps aside like a dark monarch avoiding an arrow by inches. White keeps pushing h6. The last pawn marches bravely toward glory. Wesley answers, Rg4, a sinister counter, trapping White's dreams in cold iron. Tomi captures Rxcd4, the rook bites, but it's a poisoned feast. Wesley recaptures Fxg4, the pawn transforms into a monster, breathing fire across the board. White swings Re5, trying to cut through the fog. One last desperate maneuver. Wesley defends with Rf7, perfect coordination. The fortress is unbreakable. Tomi takes Rx6, an explosion of steel. One last glorious strike from a dying army. Wesley answers, Bx6, calmly restoring order, leaving only ashes behind. White checks Qx in Ix, another flash. But Wesley stands unmoved. Ken. Black steps Kadite. The king strolls through the battlefield. Unstoppable. Tomi keeps pressing Kg6, still searching for eternal hope in the ruins. Wesley moves Chait. The king slides deeper into safety, mocking every check. White repeats Qs6. Same move. Same desperation. Same storm. Antunem seer. Black replies Kadite, a taunting echo, calm and merciless. Tomi continues Qd6. He's running out of options. Running out of time. Wesley defends with Q8-7, finally connecting queens, cutting off every escape. White keeps fighting Qe5, trying to find one last spark. Wesley answers Chait. The king drifts again. Cool and untouchable. Tomi repeats Qe4, changing angles, probing the armor for cracks. Wesley blocks with Kadite, like a machine repeating destiny. White pushes D5, the last foot soldier, charges forward, screaming into the night. Wesley responds Qf5, the black queen rises, her shadow covering the board. Tomi checks Qd4, still trying to drag the dark king into the light. Wesley coolly plays Che4, no emotion, just precision, cutting every line of hope. White drops Qhite, a final check. Poor defiance, in its purest form. Wesley defends R-fight. An iron curtain slams down between king and death. Tomi retreats Qb2, exhausted, but still moving. The queen searches for new chances. Wesley pushes G3. The pawn transforms into a dagger, stabbing through the silence. White captures Fxg3, last resistance. The sound of a heart still beating. Wesley swings Q3. The queen bursts forward like lightning, deadly and unstoppable. Tomi moves Kh to The king runs, cornered, pin, breathing hard. Wesley delivers Qex6, the final blow. The black queen strikes, and Tomi falls. 0-1 Nissepenison, Wesley So wins in a ruthless cinematic style. I end the video here. Please give me a like and subscribe to my channel. I'll keep finding the best and newest videos to share with you. Thank you so much. And I wish you all happiness and good health.